بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله أما بعد. This is our review and walkthrough for resource 23.1 as found on page number 128 of our workbooks. This resource is for after your study of lesson number 23 of Al-Muqaddimah Al-Ajurrumiyya, the Ajurrumiyya primer in Arabic grammar. The expectation here at this time is that you have studied that 23rd lesson and you have taken the quiz, resource 23.1, and you have checked your answers. And now we'll go over the questions and the answers together for additional benefit. Resource 23.1 أسئلة مراجعة من الدرس الثالث والعشرين. Review questions for lesson number 23. السؤال الأول. The first question. قال الإمام ابن آجرروم رحمه الله. The Imam Ibn Ajurrum states, may Allah have mercy on him, وأما الفتحة فتكون علامة للخفض في ماذا؟ Fatha is a sign of something being مخفوض, the khafd case. In what language items or types of words? A. تثنية الأسماء خاصة. B. موضعين. C. ثلاثة مواضع. Or D. الاسم الذي لا ينصرف. So this is the quoted speech of the author, and that which he said was وأما الفتحة فتكون علامة للخفض في الاسم الذي لا ينصرف. That means D is the correct answer. السؤال الثاني. The second question. مثال ما فيه فتحة علامة للخفض. An example of something that has a fatha as its sign of being مخفوض. A. مررت بعائشة. B. رأيت فاطمة. C. صلى زيد في المساجد. Or D. رأيت المسلمات. So starting with the last answer choice, رأيت المسلمات, the mansub item is المسلمات. There's no fatha there. Answer choice C, صلى زيد في المساجد. There's nothing there with a fatha either. So those cannot be considerable as answer choices. We're looking for something with a fatha. The only real possible answer choices are A and B. مررت بعائشة, that's A, and B is رأيت فاطمة. So both answer choices provide us with a female name that has a fatha on it. But remember, we're looking for the one that is مخفوض. So مررت B has got a harf jar, and what comes after the harfu khafd or harfu jar is مخفوض. So عائشة is مخفوض. علامة خفضها الفتحة, because it's ممنوع من الصرف. We don't say بعائشة. No. عائشة is ممنوع من الصرف. So it takes a fatha as its sign of being مخفوض. And as for that fatha on فاطمة, that is a sign of its i'rab, but فاطمة is مفعول به. So then it's mansub, not majroor or مخفوض. السؤال الثالث. The third question. مثال الاسم الممنوع من الصرف. An example of a name which is ممنوع من الصرف. A. عمر. B. علي. C. Abu Bakr. Or D. Muhammad. And so as we've studied, Umar is the one which is ممنوع من الصرف. Ali is munsarif. You say Aliyun. Abu Bakrin is munsarif. And Muhammadun is munsarif. The only one that you can't put a tanween on is Umar. You can't say Umarun. So you say Umaru. السؤال الرابع, the fourth question, أعرب جهنم كما في قوله تعالى وجيء يومئذ بجهنم. From Surah Al-Fajr, the 23rd verse. A. اسم منصوب علامة نصبه الفتحة. B. اسم مخفوض علامة خفضه الفتحة. C. اسم مجرور علامة جره الكسرة. Or D. فعل مضارع منصوب علامة نصبه الفتحة. So right away, we know Jahannam is a place. It is an ism. So we're going to eliminate answer choice D. It is not a verb. So then, we have three answer choices. All of them state that Jahannam is an ism. One of them says mansub, and the other two say makhfud, using different language. Makhfud and majroor are the same thing, remember? So being that we have the word Jahannam coming after harfu jar, ba, bi Jahannam, then we know that it's majroor, or makhfud. So then answer choice A needs eliminated. We have only B or C. And then if we look at the end of Jahannam, we know there's a fetha there. So that eliminates answer choice C, alamatu jarrihi al-kasra. There is no kasra there. There's only a fetha. And so that means the answer choice which is correct is B. Ismun makhfudun alamatu khafdihi al-fatha bijahannama. السؤال الخامس. The fifth question. استخرج من الآيات اسما ممنوعا من الصرف. Select a noun from these verses that is ممنوع من الصرف. And the verses are فأنبتنا فيها حبا وعنبا وقضبا وزيتونا ونخلا وحدائق غلبا وفاكهة وأبا متاعا لكم ولأنعامكم. From Surah Abasa, the 27th through 32nd verses. So this is a fairly easy question. A noun that's mamnu' min as-sarf. We are given 4 answers here. 3 of them have tanween on them. So that means the only one that could possibly be the correct answer choice would be the one without the tanween. So answer choice A is habban in verse 27. You see it there in the verse, habban with a tanween. So remember, mamnu' min as-sarf means it never takes tanween. So it can't be A. What about nakhlan in verse number 29? Well, that also has a tanween. So B cannot be the correct answer. As for answer choice C, hada'iq in verse number 30, wa hada'iq غُلْبَا, that's possible because there's only a fetha on the end of it and not a tanween. And then answer choice D would be fakiha, as found in verse 31, وَفَاكِهَةً. There's a tanween on fakiha. So then, the only possible answer choice must be answer choice C. السؤال السادس. The 6th question. أعرب فرعون كما في قوله تعالى اذهب إلى فرعون إنه طغى. Make i'rab of the word fir'aun as found in that verse, the 17th verse of Surah An-Nazi'at. So, اذهب إلى فرعون. Right away you see Fir'aun, the name of a person, coming after the word إلى, and you recognize إلى as a harfu khafdin from earlier in the text. That means whatever follows a harfu khafdin is an ism, and it is مخفوض. So then, let's call Fir'aun اسم مخفوض, or we could say مجرور علامة خفضه, or we could say علامة جره. What is it? What's the sign of it being مخفوض or مجرور? الفتحة, the فتحة, نيابة عن الكسرة, as a substitute for the كسرة, لأن فرعون ممنوع من الصرف, because the name Fir'aun is ممنوع من الصرف. It cannot take tanween, and it cannot take a كسرة without إضافة. السؤال السابع, the seventh question. ممنوع من الصرف equals يساوي ممنوع من ماذا? What does ممنوع من الصرف actually mean, like in practice? It means you can't do what? A. التنوين, B. الحركات, C. الإعراب, or D. الوزن. And the answer is it's ممنوع من التنوين, as we have studied in our class. Of course it has حركات, and of course it has إعراب. But the حركات, the فتحة ضمة, and so on, that's limited. No tanween is allowed. And of course it has إعراب. Otherwise, what are all these questions that we're answering about إعراب of these words which are ممنوع من الصرف? And then, السؤال الثامن والأخير, the eighth and final question. مثال العلة التي تقوم مقام العلتين في الأسماء الممنوعة من الصرف. An example of a reason, a defect, you could say, that takes the place of two defects that are needed for something to be categorized as ممنوع من الصرف would be which of the following items? A. التأنيث, B. العلمية, C. وزن الفعل, or D. صيغة منتهى الجموع. And the correct answer is D. صيغة منتهى الجموع, like مساجد, like in verse number 30 of Surah Abasa from question number 5. وحدائق غلبا. حدائق is صيغة منتهى الجموع, the plural of حديقة. It has an alif in its third of 5 letters. That's the sign of this scale, which is ممنوع من الصرف, with only one defect, as we've studied. And maybe you studied 23A and 23B. Maybe you've already studied the review for lesson 23. There's a separate review session after the actual class introducing lesson 23. If you haven't studied that yet, you should expect to become more firm in these ilal, in these defects and reasons for words being categorized as mamnu' min as-sarf, insha'Allah. May Allah Ta'ala bless you and give you success and grant you firmness of understanding the Arabic language and that which follows it, of the statements and speech of your Lord and Creator, and the statements and actions of His Messenger, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And Allah knows best. So at this time, if you have not studied the review of lesson 23, then go ahead and do that at this time. And then once you've done that, and you may have already done that, then get ready for a test, a quiz, from the beginning of the text of Al-Ajurrumiyyah all the way up to lesson number 23. A comprehensive quiz is found in resource 23.2, just before you go on to lesson number 24. May Allah Ta'ala bless you and give you success. وصلي اللهم وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.